On my birthday, in front of 100 guests, my husband hacked the restaurant's projector, broadcasted my private messages and photos onto the wall, and announced to everyone, including my parents and my boss, that he was divorcing me because I was unfit to be a wife. The room went silent. Not the kind of quiet where people are thinking or processing, the kind where everyone forgets to breathe at the same time. I stood there, frozen, watching my most personal conversations displayed on a 12-foot screen while my mother's face turned white and my boss pulled out his phone to record. If you are watching this from somewhere outside of Chicago, let me know in the comments below. I need to know how far this nightmare has traveled, because what happened next made headlines I never wanted to be part of. Let me back up. 3 weeks ago, I turned 36. I had been married to Ryan for 7 years. We lived in a beautiful high-rise in River North, the kind with floor-to-ceiling windows and a doorman who knew our coffee orders. Ryan worked in tech consulting, made great money, and had this way of making everyone in a room turn when he walked in. Tall, confident, the guy who remembered everyone's name and asked about their kids. People loved him. I ran my own marketing agency from our second bedroom. Nothing huge, just me and 2 remote employees. But we had good clients and steady income. Ryan used to brag about me at parties, calling me his brilliant wife who could sell ice to Eskimos. Looking back, even the compliments were performances. The birthday dinner was his idea. I wanted something small, maybe just family, but Ryan insisted on making it special. He rented out the entire second floor of this trendy steakhouse downtown, the one with exposed brick walls and those Edison bulb chandeliers everyone posts on Instagram. He invited everyone. My parents drove in from Milwaukee. My sister flew in from Phoenix, all our couple friends, some of his work people, even my biggest client and her husband. 112 people to be exact. I know because I saw the invoice later. The first hour was perfect. People mingling, champagne flowing, that warm feeling you get when everyone you care about is in one room. Ryan gave me this gorgeous tennis bracelet in front of everyone, and people actually applauded. My dad, who usually hates any kind of attention, gave this sweet toast about watching me grow up. My best friend Sarah told embarrassing college stories that made everyone laugh. It was the kind of night you frame photos from. Then Ryan stood up to give his toast. He clinked his glass and the room quieted down. He had this look on his face, not his usual charming smile, but something else, something I had never seen before. 7 years ago, he started, I married this woman thinking I knew who she was. People smiled, settling in for what they assumed would be a romantic speech. But marriage has a way of revealing truth. Does it not? He pulled out his phone, and technology has a way of confirming it. I remember thinking he was about to do something cute, like show our wedding video or old photos. Then the projector screen behind the bar lit up. At first, it showed our computer desktop just for a second before he pulled up my messages. Not just any messages. Private conversations with my sister about our marriage. Venting text to Sarah about fights we had. A group chat where I had joked about Ryan's mother being passive-aggressive. Normal things every married person says when they need to blow off steam. But seeing them blown up on a wall out of context in 48-point font, it was like being stripped naked in public. Let us start with this one, Ryan said, using a laser pointer like he was giving a board presentation. Here is where she calls me controlling. Interesting word choice from someone who checks my location 12 times a day. I had checked his location exactly twice in our entire marriage, both times when he was hours late without calling. The room was dead silent. My mother stood up, then sat back down. My boss had his phone out and I could see others doing the same. Some people were recording. My own birthday party was becoming content. Ryan clicked to another conversation. Oh, this is good. Here's where she tells her sister she settled for me. Settled. After I paid off $40,000 of her student loans. That text was from 5 years ago. During a fight where he had called me a failed entrepreneur. I had said maybe we both settled. Maybe that is what marriage is, choosing to stay even when things get hard. But context did not matter anymore. Ryan, stop. My voice came out as barely a whisper. He turned to face everyone, ignoring me completely. For 7 years, I have supported this woman. I have funded her little business hobby, dealt with her anxiety, her jealousy, her constant need for validation. And this is how she talks about me behind my back. My client stood up and walked out. Others followed, but most stayed, frozen by the spectacle. Then he pulled up photos. Pictures from my phone that he had somehow accessed. Nothing inappropriate, but personal, unflattering selfies I had taken to track my fitness progress. Screenshots of my business revenue during a bad month. A photo of a positive pregnancy test from a miscarriage I had never told anyone about except him. This was from last year, he said, pointing to the pregnancy test. She lost it at 8 weeks. Never told anyone because she was embarrassed, could not even carry a baby properly. My mother made a sound I had never heard before. Like all the air had been punched out of her. My father stood up, his face purple with rage. But my uncle held him back. And here, Ryan clicked again, is her dating profile. Oh wait, sorry, that is from before we met. But she kept it saved in her drafts folder. Just in case, right honey? It was my old profile from 8 years ago that I had screenshot as a joke to show Sarah how bad my photos used to be. But again, context was dead. So, Ryan said, turning to the crowd like a prosecutor making his closing argument. I stand here on her birthday to give her the only gift she deserves. Freedom. I am divorcing her, and I want all of you to know exactly why. He pulled out a manila envelope and handed it to me in front of everyone. Divorce papers, already signed by him. The apartment is mine. The car is mine. The business that I funded is mine. She can keep the debt and the delusions. Then he looked straight at me, and for the first time that night, smiled. Happy birthday, sweetheart. He walked out, leaving me standing there holding the envelope while 100 people stared. The projector was still on, frozen on a text where I had told my sister I sometimes felt lonely in my marriage. The room exploded, not with support or comfort, but with phones. People taking pictures, recording, whispering. My dad finally broke free and punched a wall, his hand going straight through the drywall. My mother was sobbing. Sarah tried to pull me toward the exit, but I could not move. My boss, former boss, as I would find out Monday, uploaded his video before we even left the restaurant. Within an hour, I was trending on Twitter. Someone had titled it Most Brutal Divorce Announcement Ever. The comments were exactly what you would expect. Half calling Ryan a legend for exposing a fake wife, half calling him abusive. But everyone had an opinion about my private life. I made it to the bathroom before I threw up. Sarah held my hair back while my phone buzzed non-stop on the tile floor. When I finally looked, I had hundreds of notifications. Instagram follow requests from strangers. DMs ranging from death threats to marriage proposals. 3 news outlets wanting statements. The ride home was surreal. My parents drove in complete silence while I sat in the back seat watching my life explode online in real time. The video had 50,000 views. Then 100,000. Someone had already made a meme out of my shocked face. But here is the thing. Ryan did not know. Here is what he missed in his desperate need to humiliate me. I had been documenting everything for months. Every cruel comment he made when no one was listening. Every time he controlled what I wore, who I saw, what I posted online. The tracking apps he had installed on my phone without my permission. The credit cards he had opened in my name. The affair he was having with his 23-year-old assistant. Yeah, I knew about that too. I had screenshots, recordings, bank statements, everything. I had been planning to leave him, I just wanted to do it quietly. With dignity, maybe save us both the public humiliation. But he chose this instead. If you have ever had someone you loved turn your vulnerability into a weapon against you, please hit that like button. Because what happened next changed everything. And I mean everything. That night, I did not sleep. I sat in my childhood bedroom at my parents' house watching the numbers climb. The video hit 1 million views by morning. News outlets picked it up. Chicago woman publicly divorced at birthday party became a trending topic. My phone died from the notifications and I did not bother charging it. My dad came in around 3 a.m. with hot chocolate. The same kind he used to make when I had nightmares as a kid. He did not say anything, just sat on the floor next to my bed like he used to. My mom came in an hour later. We all just sat there in the dark, not talking, just existing in this new reality where my marriage had ended not with a conversation or a courtroom but with a viral video. The next morning, Ryan started his victory lap. He went on a podcast, one of those men's rights ones with a host who calls himself an alpha coach, and told his version of events, how he had been suffering in silence, how I was manipulative and crazy, how he had finally found the courage to expose the truth. The host ate it up. This is what modern men need to do, he said. Stop suffering in silence. Expose these toxic women for what they are. The comment section was a nightmare. Men calling me every name imaginable. Women who had never met me diagnosing me with personality disorders. Everyone had a theory about what kind of person I must be to deserve this. But then something interesting happened. My sister posted on Twitter, just one tweet, since my brother-in-law wants to share private messages, here is one he sent me last year. She attached a screenshot where Ryan had texted her while drunk saying he had only married me for my potential inheritance from my grandmother and that he was stuck until the old bat dies. My grandmother had passed 6 months ago. She left me nothing but her wedding ring and a box of recipes. The tweet went viral within hours. Suddenly, people started looking closer at Ryan's story. Tech people analyzed the Projector hack and realized it was illegal. Legal experts pointed out that sharing those photos without consent was a crime in Illinois. Women who had dated Ryan in college started coming forward with their own stories. Then his assistant, the one he was sleeping with, saw the podcast. She had no idea he was married. She thought I was his ex who would not leave him alone. She posted her own video, crying, showing their text where he had promised to marry her as soon as his crazy ex stopped stalking him. The narrative flipped in real time. The same comment sections that had crucified me 12 hours earlier now turned on Ryan. The podcast deleted the episode. His company put him on administrative leave pending investigation. Someone found his dating profiles, plural, active during our entire marriage. But the damage to me was already done. My client terminated our contract, citing reputational concerns. Other clients followed. My business, which I had built for 5 years, collapsed in 3 days. I could not leave my parents' house without being recognized. Someone had found their address and posted it online, so reporters started showing up. Ryan, meanwhile, tried to play victim. He posted a Notes app apology about being pushed to his breaking point and needing to heal from the trauma of a toxic relationship. He hired a publicist, started talking about writing a book about surviving emotional abuse. I finally turned my phone back on after 3 days. 17,000 notifications. Most were horrible. but buried in them were messages from women who had been through similar things. Not the viral humiliation part, but the slow erosion of self that comes from loving someone who sees you as a prop in their story. That is when I decided to fight back. I hired a lawyer, a good one, recommended by a woman who had DM'd me her own survival story. We filed charges for the illegal wiretapping, the revenge porn, identity theft for the credit cards, and defamation. Then we did something else. I went on my own podcast, not some dramatic tell-all, but a quiet conversation with a female journalist who had covered domestic abuse for years. I brought receipts, not just screenshots but police reports from the 2 times Ryan had gotten physical and I had been too scared to press charges. Medical records from when I had gone to therapy because he had convinced me I was too emotional. Bank records showing how he had slowly isolated me financially while making it look like generosity. But most importantly, I brought the audio recording from 2 years ago, when Ryan had told me in explicit detail what he would do if I ever tried to leave him, how he would destroy my reputation, take everything, make sure no one would ever believe me. "I own you," he had said. Never forget that. The interview dropped on a Tuesday. By Wednesday, Ryan was fired. Not suspended, fired. His company cited conduct incompatible with corporate values. The assistant sued him for emotional distress. The IRS opened an investigation into the credit cards in my name. 3 of his ex-girlfriends filed their own police reports for incidents during their relationships. But winning did not feel like winning. I was 36, divorced, unemployed, and infamous. You cannot rebuild a reputation after that level of public humiliation. You just learn to live with the new version of yourself, the one who exists in Google searches and Reddit threads forever. I moved back to Milwaukee with my parents temporarily, got a job at a small firm doing back-end marketing work under a different name, started therapy twice a week, deleted all social media, tried to become invisible. Then, 6 months later, something unexpected happened. A woman reached out through my lawyer. She was starting a nonprofit for women who had experienced public humiliation during divorces or breakups, revenge porn, social media campaigns, viral videos. She had seen my story and wanted me to be part of the founding team. "You cannot get your old life back," she said, "but you can help make sure this does not happen to other women." I said yes. We launched last month. In 3 weeks, we helped 17 women get videos taken down, file police reports, and find lawyers. We created a rapid response team for viral harassment. We got legislation introduced in 3 states to make what Ryan did a felony. Ryan, meanwhile, is living in his parents' basement in Indiana. The legal fees bankrupted him. His reputation is destroyed beyond repair. The assistant got a restraining order. He cannot get a job anywhere that does a Google search. Last I heard, he was drinking heavily and telling anyone who would listen that he was the real victim. But that is not why I am telling this story. I am telling it because somewhere out there, a woman is sitting in her bedroom watching her life explode on someone else's terms. Her private pain has become public entertainment. Her truth has been edited, weaponized, and sold as someone else's story. To her, I want to say, you will survive this. Not because you are strong or special or deserving, but because survival is what humans do. You will wake up tomorrow and then the next day, and slowly and possibly, you will build something new from the ashes. It will not be the life you planned. It will not be fair, but it will be yours. Every single day, I get messages from women who saw what happened to me and realized they needed to leave their own relationships. They saw how bad it could get and decided not to wait for their own birthday party ambush. If you are watching this and something in your gut is telling you that your relationship is not safe, emotionally, physically, financially, please listen to that voice. Do not wait for the explosion. Do not assume it will get better. And definitely do not think you deserve it. You do not. If this story resonated with you, if it made you think about your own relationship or someone you love who might be in danger, please subscribe to this channel, because stories like mine should not exist. But until they stop happening, we need to keep telling them. And if you are still trapped, if you are watching this from a relationship that feels like a prison, you know that freedom exists on the other side of this fear. It might come with scars. It might come with trauma. It might even come with public humiliation.